A very important night for Bernalillo County Commissioners tomorrow.
Yeah, once again, they are going to try to find a way to deal with the overcrowding at the MDC. The commissioners are set to vote on a plan to spend more than $7 million through July of 2014 to send up to 300 inmates to other jails here in New Mexico and in Texas. Now remember, the commissioners rejected a similar plan last month, but Commissioner Lonnie Talbert was not at that meeting, but he will be there tomorrow night. However, Commissioner Talbert will not tell us how he is going to vote. Meanwhile, the commissioners recently met with a federal judge about solving the MDC's overcrowding problem and will meet again later this month.
We'd like to bring it up for a vote before the full, before the full commission. I'm optimistic that it will pass.
If we ship them out, we're not guaranteed that that will satisfy the conditions of the lawsuit and get us out of that lawsuit.
Or we'll be at the meeting tomorrow. We'll let you know what happens there. And so you know, the MDC has about 400 inmates too many right now, and the county has paid millions of dollars in court costs since a lawsuit about the overcrowding was filed back in the 1990s. Well, police are still on the hunt for a second person they say is connected to robbing stores in Albuquerque with a knife.
And this weekend, they say they caught the man they say had been doing the robbing. Bernard Fernando is in jail on a $50,000 bond. He's charged with armed robbery and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police think he's the man in the video from a robbery at a JCPenney on Manal, where he's accused of holding up a clerk at knife point. Police say he was also caught on video at another armed robbery at My Jewels store on San Pedro. Investigators say Fernando could be linked to 5 more robberies since late March. They haven't said who the other person they are looking for is. Well, here's a story that is just going to make you shake your head.
Oh, absolutely. Investigators say a woman from here in New Mexico was going around telling people she had cancer, getting them to donate to her charity, then blowing the money. She never had cancer to begin with. Elizabeth Bateman now lives in Albuquerque and is facing theft charges in Colorado. Police say Bateman told friends she had terminal cancer. She even set up this blog talking about it. Then she got friends and others to donate more than $7,000 to a charity she created. Then police say Bateman spent that cash on herself, going on cruises, skydiving, helicopter rides, and more. Now her friends are worried she could pull the same stunt and rip people off here.
She's already in New Mexico, like making new friends and talking to them and telling them God knows what.
Investigators say they found out about Bateman's scheme when a friend took her to the hospital, and the hospital said it had no record of Bateman ever being diagnosed with cancer. Well, the aunt accused of using her nephew to shoplift from stores in Albuquerque is now free. Tessie Silva got out of jail on Saturday after she and the boy's mother, Angelica Perdomo Silva, were arrested at the JCPenney store at Cottonwood Mall on Friday. Police say the two were using Angelica's son to steal stuff, but this time the store's security guard caught them. And in court this weekend, an investigator told the judge this is nothing new for Angelica.
Your Honor, for Ms. Silva, we did locate a total of 11 related arrests, alleged theft arrests in her criminal history.
Police say the shoplifting family tried to steal more than $350 worth of things from the JCPenney. They did not say how old Angelica's son is.
A man accused of holding a mother and son hostage is still locked up this morning and will now have to pay more to get out of jail. 23-year-old Richard Salazar faced a judge Saturday on aggravated assault and child abuse charges. That's when the judge raised his bond to $27,500. The SWAT team was called to rescue Salazar's girlfriend and their 3-year-old boy Friday from a home on 57th Street in Northwest Albuquerque. Police say Salazar threatened to slit the woman's throat. After a couple of hours, SWAT rushed in, rescued the victims, and arrested Salazar. In court Saturday, Salazar had a question for the judge.
I have a question, sir.
Sure.
She's the mother of my child and stuff. So would I have to go through some type of counseling and stuff in order to be able to make contact, to be able to see my child and stuff?
Well, the judge told him he cannot have contact with the woman or child for now. APD says the couple has had history of domestic issues. The city of Roswell has a huge pet problem.
And now it's affecting shelters right here in Albuquerque. In just the last week, Animal Humane has gotten 56 dogs and puppies from the Roswell Humane Society and 130 since February. And these aren't just any old dogs. Many are purebreds and designer dogs such as Cheepoms and Yorkie mixes.
Most small towns in New Mexico have pet overpopulation, and Roswell's no exception. The interesting thing about Roswell is they have many small, highly adoptable dogs.
Oh, puppy there. Roswell's Humane Society says a lot of the dogs are coming from what they call backyard breeders, but the city has new rules on spaying and neutering pets that they hope help the problem. Well, today we could find out what will happen with the dozens of dogs seized from a home in Edgewood last month. The court in Santa Fe is having an emergency hearing to decide what to do with Deborah Clapton's dogs. She used to be a veterinarian and is now accused of hoarding animals. Investigators seized 48 dogs from her home. 3 had to be euthanized, but some of the others have had puppies, and now the number is up to 78 that are in a shelter there. On Friday, Clapton had a deadline to pay the city to care for the dogs, but she missed it, so now the shelter is stuck with a $40,000 bill.
The problem is the mothers are still a part of the case, so we can't really separate them or take them to foster care or something like that until we get permission to do that.
The shelter hopes the court will give it custody of the dogs so it can get them adopted out or put them in foster homes. In fact, another one just had puppies over the weekend. Again, 78 dogs, $40,000 that the city is
Hopefully
paying.
that happens so the dogs can get adopted out, that's for sure.
Yeah, there are a lot of people interested in them. All right.